good.
It's nice to have you in the studios of Radio Gold. Do any of your friends ever call you AA?
Well, they call me Amoah.
Amaji.
Yes.
Oh, okay. That's a better one. Yeah, I thought A would be better. She's spokesperson for the group called Jane Army of Women. Now, the discussion is around why this election is important and what is in this election. It's important to women. What is in it for women? Well, first, let me start by asking you, the group Jane Army of Women. Tell us about the group.
All right, thank you. First of all, let me say a big thank you to my chairperson and to all the executives of Jane Army of Women.
Okay.
All right. So basically, who are we? We are a non-partisan group of women or movement with one-mindedness just to ensure and promote women empowerment.
Okay.
We believe in the inherent potency of women in leadership, and it is a great hope to see women in government, women in power, women in economic, development.
Okay.
And for the first time in the history of Ghana, we have a woman standing in, to have come to this point where she's more like a candidate for a she vice president, which is Nana Jane. You will ask me, but there are other women in the boat. Yes, there are.
There have been.
There have been.
Yes.
Now, the issue here is, from 1992 till date, we've had women standing in, but none of them have been able to reach even 1% in terms of the voting pool. So it makes it so insignificant. It makes it so weakening. But that's the first time a woman within this two force of party, we have the NPP and we have the NDC. And fortunately, the NDC have a woman running mate. So we think that this is a great opportunity for us to support Nana Jane and to bring this dream, come through. So it's not, if you will have asked me, so if it was NPP, of course. We are, I told you, we are not party kind of, we are non-partisan. Our focus is women empowerment. And that is why we are supporting Nana Jane.
So to you, what has made the difference this time around is that the woman is on the ticket of one of the two major political parties.
Yes.
Because I was going to ask, wouldn't it have made a difference if you threw your weight behind some of the women who were contesting on the smaller party, the ticket of the smaller parties earlier?
As I mentioned, data speaks here.
We've
had less than 1%, or even 1%, for women who have stood way back. So are we pushing for a winning theme, or we are just pushing for potentials? We are pushing for winning theme. That is how come we are in for Nana Jane.
So this is a group, because I realized that the first name is Jane.
Yes.
So you're a group of women who've come together as an army for her?
Yes. For her. We are women. In Ghana, globally, wherever, so long as you are a gender-based woman who believes in womanhood, this is our time to help our own, to support our own, to promote our own. And I believe it's a good cause. And to us, if this happened, we believe that this will give women a better ground for economic, participation, for social equity, and for good financial inclusion across board.
Because that was the question I was coming to. How does it matter whether or not there's a woman on the ticket, as long as maybe there's something on the table that goes in favor of women? Why is it so important to have a woman on the ticket, the presidential ticket, either as vice president or president?
It is very important for us. Now, women have always been the backbone when it comes to economic growth and development.
Okay.
Women have continually been a linchpin of our economy. From the time of independence till today, every successful government has women standing behind them. Now, why is this? It's because now a woman stands in as a figure, being a vice president, a candidate. And the game changer here is not just the personality or who this woman is. It is the promise, it is the dream of bringing something that means a lot to all women in Ghana. And this is the Women Development Bank. Which we think that this will empower a lot of our women in Ghana. I mean, you lift a woman, you lift a nation. You lift a woman, you lift a home, you lift a community, you lift a nation. So for women banking to come into play at this critical moment of our economy, I think this is something laudable that every woman should see and should also support at this critical time.
Why that particular? Because I can go through the NDC manifesto and find many policies that are aimed at women. Why the Women's Bank in particular?
Why? Because this is a game changer for us. Now, banking, or I would say women banking, this has a significant impact on our economy. One, in terms of economic independence, this is where we can see that women can do better. Of course, increase economic participation of women. We can see entrepreneurship. This will encourage a lot of women in entrepreneurship. This will also improve financial literacy. Not forgetting it will reduce poverty very much and also improve our GDP. So on the economical front, the banking sector, the women banking would help our economic front. Now let's look at the social impact that it also has. Definitely, there's serious empowerment for women. That is, women can now be financially independent to take decisions, to now be more economically partners within society. I mean, this will also promote education, because if a woman is in power, of course, she will also invest in education and educating her children and her community. And we're also looking at healthcare. If women are in good position, healthcare becomes paramount, because they'll be very careful to take care of themselves and their community. And of course, this will also reduce a lot of inequality, that is financial inclusion. There'll be a lot of gap bridging, all right, in the aspect of women empowerment. And the last one too is, of course, financial inclusion. The banking will bring a kind of tailor-made products, services, purely for women. Okay, there will be more insurance and risk management to support, to give women that cushion. All right, so there are good intentions, and banking is something that is very practical. Okay, even let's see what our banks are doing. So to have a women banking, women development banking as it stands, I think that it will be a good thing to really, really empower not just the rural, not just the urban, but of course the rural community as well.
Why is capital important? Because all this is about women having access to credit money. Why is it so important for women? Because there's a lot of people who will tell you that even when you go to the market, you have people who are moving around giving them short-term loans that they can use to do their business. Why is this such a big deal for women that this capital becomes readily available to them?
When there is no capital, it's difficult to start a business. Even when you have the business running, and at a point there are injections. If you don't have it, the business becomes stagnant. So apart from the capital being a necessity, all right, there is also more of support
Okay.
that the bank will give to our women in terms of education. There is more support, and we have this challenge where women, work-life balance, okay, home, work, how to merge this and still be a productive woman. I mean, the women banking will help our women to have a work-life balance, and not just that alone. This will also, there'll be other products and services, such as mobile banking. And don't forget, this will allow more of employment. We'll have women, ladies in employment. We'll have better mobile banking platform. We'll have good microfinance and cooperative programs to rope more women into the business and also to promote business. Of course, there'll be more financial literacy training and skill competence. Of course, we'll also look more into the digital payment system. Because now everything is becoming more digital. The remittance system, this is what is happening. So this will be a good platform for our women's, growth, if I should put it that way.
So for you, it goes beyond money that's given to the woman. It goes
beyond the money. It's a holistic women empowerment thing. It's a holistic, women development thing. And sometimes you may think it's just the capital. We are not just interested in it's a sustainability.
Okay.
Because if a woman is doing well, the home is happy. The community is at peace. The nation grows. So we are looking beyond what we are seeing today.
The interesting thing I heard is the community is at peace. Anyway, but so if we just we are speaking to Amoah, our spokesperson for Jane Army of Women, and let me take a step back, because the basic question that comes to mind is exactly what problem the Women's Bank will come to address. Because if you have a system where there are already structures that cater to a particular issue, why create a new one? What makes it better? What makes it what women need at this time?
All right. So, normally products and services are created out of needs and wants. And out of what the customer needs, not what the company thinks the customer needs. Now, there's a huge market for women in business. Why? Because we have different types of businesses. We have the micro enterprising. Those are the small scale businesses. We have the SMEs. Small, medium enterprises, we have the social enterprises, and of course, the online business. So these are the various segments of business. Now, your question is, why, women banking? Because of the prevailing challenges. Now, what are some of the prevailing challenges? Limited access. High interest rate. Turnover, not good. So what happens? They lose their workers or their staff. Business becomes stagnant. But if we have a bank that does not charge the usual rate, but charges a minimum rate that is reasonable, that helps the business to be sustainable, why not? This is a bank that knows and understands the needs of our women, irrespective of your location. You could be far in the hinterland, so long as you have a potential business that is credible, that is feasible, why not? It can be supported. Look at what is happening now. You see a lot of women going into small-scale businesses. Agriculture, food processor, textiles, all this. A lot of them are folding up. They are dying down. Why? Because they might have gone for loan, and at the end of the day, they couldn't pay. Or they had to support home. They had to support our men. So what happens? Things goes down. But when it comes to women, we understand women's affair. So we can give better services and products. I hope I'm convincing you.
Yes, because okay. So you're talking about turnover. You're talking about the interest rates that are being charged currently. You're talking about limited access to, which are big issues that have been raised, because in many cases, when women talk about loans being made available to them, they are telling you loans that are made available at very high interest, sometimes up to 50%, which is difficult for a business to run. But I also want to find out, aside the issue of the interest rate, ensuring women get more access to credit, how differently will the Women's Bank approach banking with women?
How different will the approach be? I think it's a simple thing. One, the structures and the specific kind of products and services I mentioned with the women banking, of course, mobile banking.
Okay.
Women, most of the time, may not have the time to go to the banks.
Okay.
So the approach here is we have mobile banking platform where our representatives are on the ground.
Okay.
So be in the comfort of your shop. We are there to serve you.
Okay.
We have mobile apps that also is a channel for banking services. That is very much there. Of course, we'll also look more into the microfinance and the cooperatives, programs, which, of course, time has tested and is proving to be a very good platform for micro banking thing. So that will also be taken into serious consideration, and in fact, much more better. We'll also look at where we have mentorship.
Okay.
We will celebrate the very little women who have been successful, whether in little, in medium, or in large. So they become a yardstick of motivation for our women coming up. So I don't need to say everything here, but I mean, there are big plans for our women. That is why we are canvassing, we are pushing that if you're a woman, so long as you have life in you, let's make this a reality. Let me say this, an encounter which I had a couple of weeks ago. We had a case where a young boy, I said it some time back, a young boy was knocked down by a car, and it was as early as 6:30 in the morning.
Okay.
So the boy was picked to the hospital. And they asked, why are you up at this time? A boy of about 12 years. The boy said, my mother is sick in the house. She's been sick for some time. For 2 days, we haven't eaten. So I am out to go into the bush to go and look for grass cutters.
Okay.
And sell and get some 10 cedis or 20 cedis to go and feed my mother and myself. The boy almost lost his life. What am I trying to say? This woman is sick in there. What support system are we giving to our women in the rural areas? What business probably was she doing or is she doing? How sustainable? Now, if a woman is down, the children too, it affects their life, it affects their career. So if this boy, as early and as young as he was, could do this at the peril of his life for his mother, it means that everybody is at risk. So this banking thing helps, I keep saying, community development, women empowerment. Because if a woman is thriving, if there's support system, if there is good health care, if there is good businesses around, of course they have a better life. And their children too are safe. So why don't we all support to see this woman thing coming into power so that together we can have a better life for our Ghanaian women? That is all our story.
And I guess you must be selling this message to the women?
Yes.
And how's the response been so far?
It's been good. It's been good because Akan will say, Besia no nyim, niyanku besia nasam. Otase, we understand ourselves better. And if a woman is up there, it's a motivation to us all. And remember, even Ghana in our political zone, ideally per UN representation of women in power, we should be about 30%. But as it stands, we are just 14.5. So there's still gap there. So if we have more women in power, we have more women in responsible roles, I think that things will get better for all of us. And men, we are not competing with you. We can never compete with our men. We are just here to complement and to make your life much easier and more comfortable. And I will always say that creation was not even in completion. Even when God created everything, a man, he said there was something missing. And what was missing? It was a woman. So until woman came into being, life was not complete. So all that we are saying is even the men, we need you to support and to push this agenda, because life will be better for all of us.
Have you been experiencing any pushback in selling this message that you are a woman? There's a woman on the ticket. This is what the woman is offering you. Vote for that ticket because we believe that a woman being on that ticket is a game changer. Have you been experiencing any pushback on this message?
Well, as it stands, not really. But definitely there will, because everybody is entitled to their own opinion.
Okay.
But it's not about what you may think. It is about the reality on the ground. That's it.
And for you, the reality is that women have one chance.
Yes.
At least there's this chance.
For now. And our chance is, let us support Nana Jane as a she vice president for the Republic of Ghana. This is a history breaker. And this will make us all accountable as women to ensure, to fight and ensure that women will have better livelihood.
That when you get behind her, at least you have the opportunity of putting pressure on her to ensure that the things that are promised are delivered for the women.
Definitely. Because we work together. We cannot make promises and when we come in power, it's a different thing altogether. No. And it doesn't end here. It's a progressive thing. So yes, we're in partnership ensuring that whatever has been said must be lived by. Women must be able to testify to say, correct, Mami Baye and Society Bebre Abba.
But that can only happen.
That can only happen if Jane comes into power as the vice president for Ghana.
And I guess you've heard people who say it is more likely for a woman, because there are those who say, well, when you put a woman on the ticket, one of the biggest challenges you have is other women voting for that woman. And that is more likely to secure a male vote than to secure a woman's vote for a woman. That to them, that will feel new. Have you seen women who are actually against her because a woman should not be in that position?
Well, I've not seen that, and I've not heard that. No, I haven't. Well, as I said, everybody's entitled to their own opinion. Okay? But as it stands, it's about womanhood. If you're a woman, we feel that this is an opportunity for us, women, to be well represented, for our voice to be heard, for us to have better. I mean, it's a simple thing. Yeah. We are not competing, and it's not about inter-competition between women. Sometimes they will say women are their own enemies and this and that. I'm sure you were trying to restrain yourself. Well, even men are also their own enemies, so long as it's a human species thing. But that is not what we are concentrating on. Okay. We are concentrating on a vision. We are concentrating on a goal for betterment of our women, of our children. I mean, walk across, when I was coming, I saw a lot of women, children, early morning. I left home around 5. Yes, I saw women carrying things, hustling. Kayayos, all this everywhere. Are we saying that as we are developing, we can have better policies for our women, for our children? No. We are doing well, but we need to do better. We need to do better for our women. it's. You're looking at my face. I see. But you can feel me, right?
Yes, I agree with you.
Thank
Because
you.
we have a lot of those. How do you intend to break through the partisanship, though? Because when it comes to the MPP and NDC, people's opinion are quite strong. A lot of people vote for the parties because it is their party. That I won't change my mind because there's a woman on that ticket. How do you intend to achieve your aim and break through that partisanship?
Okay, that is very true. But as I said, the story I mentioned about this little boy and the mother, that woman in the village could be your auntie, could be your sister, could be your step, irrespective. And is that what you want to see your mother or your sister or anybody go through? No. So partisan, yes, I support my party, but so long as this is a gender thing. This is a woman thing. And look, let's make history in Ghana. Other countries are thriving. And there are successful stories about that. Ghana, what is our story? And I think that this is a right time and a right drive and a right, opportunity for us to make history and to hold Nana Jane accountable for this great, office that she's going into. So please, it's not about part. And I mentioned, if it was MPP who had, trust me, will support fully because it's about womanhood.
Well, let me conclude then by at least, before you leave us, what is your message for a woman listening to us this morning? Also considering, where do I lean? What do you say to them?
Where do you lean?
In
December, all I will say is, womanhood is not a choice. It is who we are. We didn't choose to be women. It is who we are. And we can always make life better. We can always take better decisions, not for just today, but for tomorrow. Okay. And if we have such an opportunity coming for us, women in Ghana, I think we should look beyond which party I belong or what I stand for, or because at the end of the day, if it goes well for all of us. You may not enjoy it, but your mother, your sister, your cousin, somebody who is a woman, your daughter somewhere will enjoy this benefit. So let's make history together.
Thank you very much for joining us in studio, madam. And wish you all the best in your work as an army. Jane Army of Women.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. She is Amoah, spokesperson for Jane Army of Women. Join us this morning. Talk about why a woman is important, why it's important to ensure. She says it's a gender issue.
Organized in a single place.
It's a gender issue. And we had that conversation on why this is a crucial election for women. And then, secondly, the Women's Bank. The Women's Bank. And it's important to many other issues when it comes to women. Financial inclusion, financial literacy, making sure access to credit. When we empower a woman, we empower more than a village. You empower a whole nation. So that's what they are preaching. I think one of these days you meet them on the road selling the message.
Why can't we live together? Be my friend, I'll be yours forever. All we need, a piece of the action. Right now, right now, right now, right now.